Hey everybody, this is Coach Roth here back in Bakersfield. It is Sunday night, the 14th. We just got done playing the LA Defenders and drove back across the mountain from LA and just got back to our homes here in Bakersfield for the evening. It's about 9 o'clock at night here and kind of a cold, dreary night here in Bakersfield, but we're back home after a nice win this afternoon. The week started early on with a 3 games in 4 days, basically. We had a few days off to kind of work on some things, get our defense kind of locked in. It's a work in progress, but we tried to do that over the last couple of days before we started our games again this week. We had 3 games in 4 days. We had Tulsa on Thursday, and then we played a Saturday night game here against Anaheim, and then left this morning early to do an afternoon game with the LA Defenders. So kind of busy these last couple of days. We'll have a break tomorrow and get back to work on Tuesday night. Going forward, though, the game on Thursday against Tulsa was a very physical game. We probably got a little bit lucky. They called Alex Hill up just before, which is always, kind of helpful. It's one of those things in this league where you can't get too high or can't get too low, just because from day to day you just don't know. Stephen Hill from Tulsa got called back up to Oklahoma. And so before our game, so that helped us probably a little bit. We didn't play great. They're a big physical team. I had said before, this is probably one of the best 2 and 4 teams in the league. Paul Werper does a great job with those guys. They are very competitive, very physical inside, and also they had picked up Ronald Dupree, who's definitely a scorer, has NBA scoring skills, and so they were a handful with coming into our building, and it took us a while to kind of overcome them. But eventually our depth kind of paid off, and our guys off the bench did a fantastic job, and I think we just kind of wore them down a little bit at the very end. But they're very talented and very tough team. Then we had Friday off, and then we played Saturday at home in a late game, kind of unusual. The hockey team played in the afternoon, and then we played in the evening, and the game was an 8 o'clock start, which kind of pushed things back. I was a little concerned that our guys would kind of come out lackadaisical and kind of lethargic, but at the end of the day, once we got going, kind of midway through the first, we never looked back and ended up winning by, I think, 34 points. A lot of guys got to contribute for that game. We had a few guys in double figures, obviously, but our bench was very good again, and we were able to keep the pressure on them and continue to wear them down during the course of the game, and it was a nice win for us, which leads us up to today. And this morning we had to get up fairly early, 9:30, and then drive across the mountain. If you're not familiar with the distance between LA and Bakersfield, it's roughly north and south along the 5, and there's a mountain in between, which is about a 45-minute drive over the top of that, and sometimes you have bad weather, and they're expecting bad weather, and sometimes that mountain can be hard to deal with. So we had to get up a little bit early, head across the mountain, and got down there in plenty of time for about 12 o'clock, and had about 2 hours to wait for our game, 2.5 hours to wait for our game. It was a bump and grind game the whole way. Once again, just prevailing in the very end with a play here or there. But LA played very good. They're shorthanded a little bit. They played very well. We actually did a very good job of actually stopping some of their scores there with Heath and Crawford. Mateen Cleaves and DeMarcus Nelson did a good job on those 2 guys, but they also got some great bench help with Cheyenne Gaddison and their guy Jonathan Beard, their big 7'1" kid inside. So we had our hands full with them. It went back and forth. I think we were lacking a little energy with the drive and 3 games in 4 days, and we were just able to just luck out and make a play here or there, and we were able to pull that game out. So that was our 5th win in a row. We're 8-1 right now. We have about 4 days off before we play again next Friday. We fly in Thursday, play next Friday at Utah, and then we have Idaho home here on Sunday, and then we're off for our Christmas break for a few days. So we got 2 more games here. We have a lot of work to do. The nice thing about this team is there's a lot of improvement, especially from the defensive end. We're going to continue to pound that away and kind of focus in on that. So it's a great start for us, obviously, at 8-1. We've got guys that are very competitive, like I've said in the past, and it kind of snowballs from there, and we just have to keep our minds right and keep going. Also today, DeMarcus Nelson went back to the Golden State Warriors after a game. He's expected to only be up for 1 or 2 games and be back with us in Salt Lake City on Friday. You never know in those situations what can transpire, but he's going up there. One of their players had a death in the family, and so they wanted to mark us up. Nelly was here also, which was kind of neat for our Tulsa game on Thursday. Larry Riley came in. We had, I think, 7 other NBA scouts in that game for Thursday's game, but Nelly flew down. Our owner sent a private jet up for him to Oakland, picked them up, got him down here before the game. He had a hamburger, was able to talk to his players, had a chance to visit with them for a little bit, and then he left just before the game was over, and they flew him back on the private jet. And so it was a nice quick trip for him to see his guys and stay in touch with them. It was great seeing him, obviously, and having Larry Riley in the building along with the other scouts. So it's a great treat for us, a great treat for Bakersfield to have him. And he's been very, very helpful, obviously, across the board with just his experience and allowing us to do what we need to get done down here and allowing us to use his players. So it was great to see him. It was great by our owner, Stan Ellis, to allow him to fly down here. Besides that, the other big news is San Joaquin Hospital. I got to give them another shout out. This was a month last Friday that I've been on the program with the diet, which people have been talking about a little bit. I started at 291. I had my big weigh-in, which I have 2 or 3 days, 2 or 3 times a month. I had my weigh-in for the 1 month period on Friday, and I was 271. I lost 20 pounds in 1 month. The food's been great. I get to eat what they allow me to eat, and as much of it as I want. And the people over there have been fantastic. The HMR program that they have there through the hospital is fantastic. You know, I thought I was going to lose maybe 30 or 40 pounds, but I actually might be on to losing 40 or 50 pounds, which is fine with me also. So I'm feeling great, and the diet's been wonderful. And the people over at San Joaquin Hospital have been fantastic, and we'll just keep you up to date on what's going on. So I'll give you another week's update on where I'm at next week, and we'll go from there. In the meantime, obviously, if you have any questions, you can email me at sroth@bakersfieldjam.com. That's sroth@bakersfieldjam.com. Give me an email. We can shout back to you about any of your questions and give you an answer back to you. I would have had a player with me tonight, but we just traveled back, and I'm kind of back in my room here and kind of just shutting it down and watching a little NFL football tonight and just relaxing. So next week we'll try to have a coach or a player or somebody with us again, and we'll continue to inform you what's going on in the NBDL. There's some great games going across the board, a lot of very, very close games if you've been following, and more players are being sent down. Denver received 2 more players from the Denver Nuggets. The Colorado 14ers just got 2 players from the Denver Nuggets. And so more and more players are being assigned down to the league, and that's always a positive as far as just exposure-wise for everybody. So hope you have a great week, and stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.